Yo. I want to talk about basic black and white convo, man. It's still frowned upon, being a black man in Atlanta, man, and being, I guess, well-spoken and living decent, living well. It's still frowned upon, man. A lot of whites I come by. I guess they don't, expect. I guess they don't expect most blacks to do well, man. I even, had someone to say, man, it's a lot of blacks here in Atlanta. I mean, I think a lot of whites, view Atlanta as like the Wakanda, because you got a lot of blacks here, and they walk with their head high, man. They proud. They live in a decent life. They're amongst their people, and a lot of times it feels like we're being divided again. This whole gentrification and this whole diversifying the city. Whereas 15, 20 years ago, you go into the heart of Atlanta or anywhere in the metro area, blacks was everywhere. I mean, you got VPs of banks, you got CEOs, you got principals, you got people in high places and high positions that are living well, and doing pretty well for themselves, and I still feel like it's frowned upon, because like I say, a lot of the new whites that come into the city, I guess they act as though we don't supposed to have anything. So, my guess is, this is what society, displaying, what the media, the media depict us to be a certain way, I guess gangsters and thugs and lowlives, people that can't speak, uneducated, you know what I mean? And it's like, come on, that's not true. That's not true, That's not true. So a lot of times, it's like, huh? I mean, like even a lot of things, that was said to me, I don't think, and like I don't want to bash whites to the point, not, to make them all seem like they're evil and hateful, but a lot of them are. A lot of them are, I mean, I work around a lot of whites, and my workplace is segregated. I mean, it's not like how it used to be back in the day where, they just do a lot of, they do enough evil, all right? And I'm only speaking, from my experience, and like I say, my current employer, and as ways you go about it, and like I say, I just have to, find the right way to go about it, and deal with it, because like I say, that come with the life of having things, and doing well for yourself. It's like, I think a lot of them feel like, hey, you don't supposed to have more than me, and and that's what I get from those guys, the ones I've come across who had such mentality. They never said in those words, but they try and compete, and not to say that others won't, do other ethnicities, won't do the same and try and compete, but it's one of those things where you can't be better than me, or you don't supposed to have what you have. I'm supposed to have more. Now, if you looking at it in terms of white privilege, then I see why you would think that, being that you guys had a head start, all right, at taking advantage of a lot of different people, countries, states, you know what I mean? And the whole colonizing, different countries, and getting a head start on the the advantage you guys have or had, you know. So, like I say, man, I think it's something that, you know, a lot of people have to look into, you know, and address. I mean, you know, shout out to Kaepernick, you know, how he used this platform. You know, most of them looking at it as business. Hey, you weren't supposed to do that. That's not what this platform is for. Hey, man, you got cops killing blacks regularly, you know, and it's been going on for decades. Decades. That's plural. All right? This guy uses his platform and say, hey, look, man, I'm going to take the knee, you know. I'm not going to sit here and act like everything is okay in this country. We know what goes on. And you guys want us all to play along, all right? So if it comes off as, you know, hey, we don't, as just misunderstood what it is I'm saying, a lot of it is it's unspoken, you know. It's like you really got to, you know, dig deep. Like I don't know how else to try to explain it to you guys that something is extremely wrong. All right, that's basically what I'm getting at. All right, something is extremely wrong. You know, for an example, you know, you have the guy who's telling the officer, hey, look, I'm a licensed carrier. You know, I do have a gun in the car. And, you know, he didn't have the gun in his hand, you know, pointing at the officer, but the officer took it upon himself to shoot the guy while the child is in the back seat of the car. And while his significant other filming. You know, it's like, like, come on. I mean, live for all to see. And so, you know, yeah, a lot of the, you know, our people deal with, you know, post-traumatic stress, you know, and traumatized. You know, been suppressed, oppressed, depressed. I must have said it a million times. And like I say, it's just one of those things that needs to be addressed, you know, and it comes off complicated, you know, for the simple fact it's a lot of times it's unspoken, you know. It's the positions, you know, and the advantages and the privileges that a lot of them have, and pretty much abuse. So, you know, it's this game you have to play with these guys, and you know, until you get results. So, like I say, it's just basic black and white talk. You know, we all, you know what's going on for the most part, but I guess, you know, gotta see their hand. You know, they throw the rock, but you just gotta now say, hey, look, I caught you. Here's your hand. You the one that threw the rock, and it's like, therefore, it's like a game, you know. But like I say, we'll talk more about it. Like I say, leave your comments. Let me know how you feel about this whole evil and negativity that goes on amongst blacks and whites that's been going on for hundreds of years. It don't make sense. Obviously, you know, us as black men and women, we you know, when you're educated or well spoken or legit, you know, you oppose a threat, you know, to society, you know, for all of the lying, stealing, and cheating that's been done. You know, a lot of times society just wants you to play the game. You know, hey, know your place, play the game. You know, cater to us. We're the gatekeepers, and like I say, a lot of times it's unspoken. But that don't make it right to lie, steal, and cheat. Not to say that others don't, but it's been a long line, you know, of history that shows and indicate that, you know, there's a race of people down here that wish to conquer, you know, for whatever benefit they get out of it, you know, outside of the privilege and, you know, being a gatekeeper, so to speak. So, like I say, man, be vigilant, man. Stand for what you believe in. Shout out to Kaepernick and the many others who took it upon themselves to say, hey, look, something is extremely wrong. What do we do about it? Do we just continue to play along? But there's no incentive in it for us to keep playing along. So definitely we have to take the stand. Hey, look, until next time, guys. Like I say, be open-minded and check out 1 through 5 basic black and white convo. Until next time.